Hello, I would like to welcome everybody to my show, The Mechanics of Money. This is episode 13. Today's episode, we're going to talk about the chip they could not stop. Okay, we're going to talk about how Huawei has been able to design a new chip that has fundamentally changed how we design transistors altogether. Okay, our story begins with in 2019, the government came in and put restrictions, the block restrictions on the largest chip maker to provide chips to China. Okay, it was a large bet, and what they wanted to do was ultimately it was one of the largest advanced chip makers in on Earth, a Dutch firm, and they prevented them from providing chips to China. The idea was the bet Washington was making. They were saying no machines, no progress, and the gap widens every year until it's unclosable. So the gap would be unclosable, and they wouldn't be able to close the gap, thus putting the U.S. in the driver's seat in the chip makers. But the problem is something happened, right? And this week, and not necessarily this week, but I think within the last couple of weeks, something changed. Something ground shaking changed. And this week, what happened is China developed a fundamental technology that's called logic folding. And this type of logic folding is a 53. It caused a 53% jump in transistor density in a single generation, which is huge. And and every and the equipment and everyone said that was impossible, and it actually happened. What China's been able to do is they've actually rewritten the book on Moore's law. They changed the way the whole measurements on how to design transistors for chips. So traditionally, with Moore's law, every 2 years, the transistor count has doubled. But China has broke that rule. They found a way around it, which is exciting and has kind of put NVIDIA back on its heels. Traditionally, the idea is to make, with Moore's law, is to make the transitioner smaller and smaller every 2 years. But the problem is that we're sitting at the threshold now. We're sitting at our limits, right? Uh, the transistors are so crowded now, and it's creating so much heat that is actually slowing computers down. So China went in and rewrote the book. They rethought the whole process, and it's quite interesting how they've gone about it. What China's been able to determine is they've been able to determine that it's not just transistor size that's a concern; it's the distance, the signal distance. So what they were able to do is shorten the distance between the signals. And that was the kicker. That was the thing that actually broke Moore's law for them. So what we have here is China has been able to create what they call logic folding, where they actually have transistors that are stacked on top of each other, thus shortening the distance between the communication with the transistors. This logic function folding has resulted in a 53% increase in transistor density. You can see on the chart here the actual jump for competitors, right? 53%. That is huge. Now, this new innovation has resulted in a 25% gain in performance and a 50% fewer clock buffers, which results in less heat. That's one of the main problems with the transistors right now is that the circuits or the transistors are so close together, they're creating a lot of heat, which is actually slowing down the computers now. We're at the precipice of the limits of Moore's law right now. Now, here's a caveat: there hasn't been a third party validation of this. All we all we've heard is information from Huawei, right? We haven't received anything from third parties verifying some of their claims. And also, in terms of them, there may be some design challenges, even though their claim is less heat, but stacking the transistors in itself might create heat itself. So they might have problems dissipating some of the heat wave or heat gases that are produced from stacking the transistors on top of each other. So that remains to be seen. But if in fact their initial information that's coming from Huawei, that they've been able to challenge and break Moore's law, is definitely has put NVIDIA back on its heels. So we're going to see how NVIDIA responds. I want to thank everybody for watching my podcast. This is Theogony Financial, the Mechanics of Money. That's the name of my company, Theogony Financial. You can call me at 832-453-7260. I am the CEO. We do tax work, tax planning, bookkeeping. I have a final quote. The semiconductor industry spent 50 years asking, how small can we make the transistor? Huawei appears to be asking a far more dangerous question. What if we don't need to? And if that question proves valid, the competitive moat protecting today's AI leaders could become much narrower than investors imagine. Okay, thank you for watching my podcast and have a nice day.